Here's what nobody tells you about leaving a political movement. School didn't prepare you for this. Nobody handed you a syllabus for what to do when the people you trusted, the causes you defended, the identity you built. Turns out it was built on a story that wasn't true. And MAGA certainly isn't going to help you leave MAGA. Self-help isn't the answer either. The journals, the affirmations, the soft music, that was never built for someone who just realized they gave years of their life to a movement that used them. So what's left? There is a third option. It is not school, it is not self-help, it is not another political movement asking for your loyalty. It starts with a single question. Where am I actually? Not where I wish I was, not where the group says I am, not where I've been telling myself I am. Where am I, actually? That question is the compass, and the compass doesn't lie. Perhaps you were one of them. You wore the hat. You went to the rallies. You truly believed you were on the right side of history. And then something cracked. A gap opened between what you were being told and what you were seeing with your own two eyes. Maybe you're past the crack. Maybe you've already taken the hat off, quietly, in private, where nobody could see. Maybe the shame is sitting in your stomach like a stone and you haven't told a single person. Maybe you're not even sure what you are anymore. Not MAGA, not Democrat, not anything that fits a label someone else made. Please know that you are not alone. And here is what I need you to hear right now. You are not broken. You are off course. There's a difference. A broken person needs fixing. A person off course needs a bearing, a direction, a compass. That is what the wayfinding station is. That is what the next 18 weeks are about. I learned how to leave a movement from a classroom in Tampa, Florida. I was teaching students who had walked out of actual gangs, teenagers, young men and women, black and white and Latino, kids who had been inside structures that demanded total loyalty, gangs that gave them identity, community, purpose, and then used those things to keep them locked in. What they taught me was that the exit isn't about willpower. It's structural. Gangs hold members with three things: identity, community, and the cost of leaving. Sound familiar? When one of my students explained how he got out, not why he wanted to leave, but how, I realized the same framework maps onto political betrayal in ways I did not see coming. That framework became the MAGA Compass. The compass is 6 questions. Score each 0 to 10. No one sees your answers but you. The compass doesn't judge. It just shows you where you're pointed. Question 1. When you hear the official story from MAGA leadership, how often does it match your own kitchen table? 0 is never. 10 is always. Question 2. Have you stopped asking questions in MAGA spaces because you know what happens if you do? 0 is I ask freely. 10 is completely silent. Question 3. Are you making excuses for behavior you would never tolerate from your boss, your pastor, or a friend? 0 is never. 10 is constantly. Question 4. Has your political identity become the first thing about you? Before father, mother, neighbor, veteran? 0 is politics don't define me. 10 is can't remember who I was before. Question 5. Is there a gap between your own moral code and what the movement now asks you to accept? 0 is no gap. 10 is a gap so wide I can't see the other side. Question 6. If you're honest, truly honest, do you already know you're on your way out? 0 is all in. 10 is already gone in my mind, just haven't said it. Add up your score. Above 30, the compass is telling you something. Above 45, you already know. You're just not ready to say it yet. The compass doesn't lie, but you've been lying to yourself. And that's not a character flaw. That's what happens inside a structure designed to keep you in. That gap between what you wish was true and what you actually scored, that is the exact distance between being a follower and being your own person. A follower ignores the gap. A follower blames the measuring stick rather than face the numbers. A sovereign person looks at the numbers and says, "Okay, this is where I am." Now what's the bearing out? Shame is a signal. It tells you something is wrong. But shame cannot be your destination. Shame is the doorway, not the room. You know who taught me that? A 16-year-old kid in my classroom, black kid, South Tampa, had been inside a crew since he was 12. He said, "The hardest part wasn't leaving. The hardest part was admitting I was ashamed I stayed so long." That is the moment the exit becomes possible. When you stop defending what you did and start charting what you're going to do next. 2 tools. Compass is where you are. Sextant is where the facts point. Step 1. State the promise. MAGA promised a country that put America first, a movement that respected working people, a leader who told the truth. Step 2. State the fact. Prices kept going up. Programs got cut. The leader blamed everyone else. The official story stopped matching your kitchen table. Step 3. Measure the gap. That distance between promise and fact, not your fault, but you carried it. You made excuses, measuring it honestly. That's where sovereignty begins. Step 4. Apply the values. 2 values: respect and truth. Respect means you treat yourself with enough dignity to face what's real. Truth means you stop accepting stories that don't match facts. Step 5. Chart the bearing. Toward the truth. Toward respect. For yourself first, then for others. That's tonight's fix. Not complicated, just honest. Not a classroom, not a political party, not self-help, a navigation system. 18 weeks, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Compass shows you where you are. Sextant shows you where the facts point. The round table, live, free, first one tomorrow night, is where you chart the bearing with others on the same journey. The book is the map you hold when the screen is off. The station is always open. Start anytime. What's the one thing you haven't said out loud? The doubt, the shame, the question that you're carrying alone. Write it down somewhere private. The compass showed you where you are. The next step is making it real enough to name. If you're ready to say it out loud, the round table is tomorrow night. Free, open, just show up. Wayfinding Station, Focus to Pivot. The 6-episode course available now. Start the first chapter tonight. The station is always open. The Round Table. Tuesday, June 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Free. Betrayed by Trump. A Guide to Self-Discovery. Paperback and Kindle on Amazon. Details at betrayedbytrump.org, leavingmagaguide.com, and wayfindingstation.com. You are not broken. You are off course, and off course can be fixed. The compass doesn't lie. But now you know something the movement never wanted you to know. Once you see where you really are, you can chart the way back to yourself. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to choose your own values, your family, and your country over any political movement. If this resonated, like and subscribe. If you've been on a similar path, share your story in the comments. Let's build a new community right here based on the courage to find your way back to yourself. The healing starts today, not when you're ready, now.